Let's click on show and stream. There we go. Ta-da! And let's change this because it says I have a green screen, which I do not. Bum. Yeah, I'll have to play around with this. Dun, dun. Yeah, sometimes the settings are a little weird. But good morning, everybody. Sorry for being late. The hosting platform that I was using, or am using, I should say, is, let's go none. There we go. Much better. Um, the host I was using decided to shit the bed right at 8:58 a.m. Eastern time. So like, oh, well, let's go over to YouTube and try that. And of course, it's like, hey, wait a minute, your key's wrong. You got to change that. I'm like, okay. So then I refreshed the originally scheduled host site, and it worked. So here we are. So quick video this morning. I've got a podcast at the bottom of the hour, so can't chat too long. But a couple things to bring to light. Obviously, check out the podcast if you haven't already. New episodes drop every Monday, sometimes during the week too. Especially if I've got somebody that needs to get their content out quick to promote a book or new offering or whatever the case may be, or it's a really timely subject that needs to be addressed. So make sure you check out the show on that. One of the things that I definitely wanted to talk about today was a tweet, or I know it's X.com now. I don't remember what they call it, a zeet, or I don't know. But we'll call it a tweet. I think still most people understand what that means. So give it 5 years and maybe it'll be different. And they'll say, how old are you, man? I'm like, old. But anyway, which is alarming. But anyway, there was a tweet the other day from Elmo. We all know Elmo, Sesame Street. Tickle Me Elmo, for those of us that remember that thing. If you've ever seen a Tickle Me Elmo without the Elmo skin, I am sorry. You were probably haunted from that, just like I am. But it was an interesting tweet. It basically was Elmo asking people how they were doing. And oh boy, did that open up a box of confessions. A lot of people chimed in, thousands chimed in and said, they're not good. And I know that and I've sensed that. But when people feel comfortable answering that simple question from basically a Muppet, that says something. And it's difficult for people to open up and say that they're not good. It takes, it's a dent to the ego, let's put it that way. And I think that for most of us, our ego, while does a decent job of promoting ourselves, doesn't do the greatest job of actually protecting us. We let our ego get in the way of doing things that are right for us and for those that we know and love. So if you get a chance, go down that rabbit hole if you want, Twitter, and kind of look at some of the comments. If you are having a difficult time, you'll be at least understanding that you are not alone. There's a lot of people going through a lot of stuff, and of course, the gaslighting that we're getting from the media on all kinds of different things is problematic. But it's true. People aren't doing well right now. Um, a lot of us are going, oh, great, there's a presidential election. Doesn't seem like the last presidential election ended. It just seems like it's been a continuation for the last 4 years. And will continue until November, and who knows what things will look like after that. We'll find out when we get there. But there's no sense in worrying about it because worrying doesn't do anything but cause you stress. And of course, prolonged stress turns into burnout. And I know a thing or two about that. But ultimately, if you're not doing well, it's up to you to do something about it. We often will go to the doctor and say, help us, or go to work and expect our workplace to create an environment to make us feel better. Our workplace, as much as I love employees and protect them and want them to have the best healthy environment for them, it's not the responsibility of your employer to provide you a fun and happy place. That's up to you to make it a fun and happy place. your teammates, your colleagues, your management. As long as you're getting the work done and it's clearly articulated what that quote unquote work is, then you can make it fun. I know environments that are completely toxic. I've worked in them. I know environments that are absolutely amazing and a blast to work in, and I've worked in them too. What's the difference? The work is still getting done. A lot of it is mindset and perspective. And when you come in prejudging situations, sometimes that takes a toll on all of us. I know I've said this before in my shows, and I know a lot of people that I've interviewed have used this as well. You got to be careful when you use the word should, uh, because all you're doing is shoulding all over yourself. You can figure out what I'm saying there, but you can't continue expecting external things to make you happy or better or feel accomplished or proud of your accomplishments or feel fulfilled. Happiness is the way, but it's within. You have to learn how to be happy within. External things come and go. Yeah, maybe you're happy that you're eating that slice of pie or cake. Maybe you're happy right now because you're out with friends and you're at your favorite restaurant ordering and eating your favorite dish. Okay, that's good. You should do that. But those are external, momentary things. How do you go about life being in a better mindset and a better state of mind, basically, and navigate through this world that is constantly being thrown at you in a negative way? Doesn't matter what flavor of news you watch, doesn't matter if you're conservative or liberal or somewhere in between the two. Everything out there is in your face, get your attention, get you upset, get you riled up, get you mad. For what? For what? And some would argue to keep you controlled, to keep you part of the cogs in the system. And you don't need to be that way. Beat your own drum. Figure out what makes you tick. And some people, you ask them, so, what do you do? And they immediately start talking about, well, I'm an account rep for blah, 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 and I do this and this and this. That's your job. That's not you. Who are you? And a lot of people don't know that, and it's surprising, but not. Doing the own work that I've done over my life, through the burnout, through depression, through a variety of other things that I've dealt through in my life. Going into that question of, who am I and what's important to me right now, and what is my ideal life? What is the life that I want to live? What do I need to do to make that possible? What are the steps I need to take? And then get started. Baby steps. Don't try to get to the top of Mount Everest in one step. I mean, you can. It's called a helicopter or other flying device, but I don't know if it's not easy to land a helicopter up there. I'm not exactly got as far as I know, a runway where they can just kind of drop it and all of that. Maybe they do for medvacs and whatnot. I don't know. No plans on climbing that beast, so I don't know. But you have to prioritize yourself, your life, your choices. You get to do what you want to do. And when you do that, guess what? You start feeling better. You start losing weight if you've been gaining weight, or maybe you start gaining weight if you've been losing weight. People have differences when they're going through prolonged stress. Some people lose a lot of weight, some people gain. I'm in the gain department. Um, Bought me a pair of jeans the other day at a waist size that I have not worn since college. It's been a long time since I've been in college. So, needless to say, I'm like, this is interesting because you see it and you go, well, but to actually put them on and they actually fit, and you're not going, oh, these pants are so tight. It's awesome. It's an awesome sensation. Um, Proud of myself. to say the least. But still work to do, but we'll get there. Metabolism doesn't work the same like it did when I was younger. Imagine that. Uh, but I think getting back to the Elmo text is, if you aren't doing well and need someone to vent to or talk to, there's a variety of different methods out there. One of the organizations I partner with is called Help Texts. If you go to my website at breakfastleadership.com, scroll to the bottom, you'll see the Help text logo. You can click on that and sign up, and you get texts to kind of help you out. And there's obviously a ton of other apps out there. Uh, you can work with people, or if you're just comfortable just working with the text and asking and answering some questions, it's a great way to kind of get out of your mind and get things out there that you can work on to make yourself feel better, both mentally but also physically. And when those two are working together, things are better. Things don't stress you as much. You see news stories that don't upset you as much. They might still upset you because you're a human being, you have emotions and feelings, but you can keep them in check and you can recognize them as they're happening. Because sometimes you don't. When you're overwhelmed with everything in life, just little things can really bug you. You drop your pen, or you forgot to put this in your pocket or your purse when you left for work, or you forgot to make your lunch, or your lunch was made and is sitting on the counter and your dog's staring up at it going, how do I get that? We've all been there and done that. If you have a cat, well, the cat's going to eat what it wants and then just knock it off the counter, because that's what cats do. Cats are a-holes. But I accept that. We all know that. I'm just thankful they don't have thumbs, because we'd be screwed if they do. Uh, but to wrap up, yeah, I just want you to focus on you today. And yes, the work, I know that's always going to be there, but do things to help you focus on you. Even if it's a simple 2 minute, go in the washroom and wash your face with some cold water. If you have a hairstyle like me, you can wash your entire head. I've actually convinced a handful of people that were pretty much well on their way to balding to just shave it all off, because they saw me do that in the bathroom once and they said to me, okay, you've made my mind up. I'm going to shave my head. I'm like, why? And they said, that looks refreshing. It is. It is. And it's good. It's just kind of a refresher. It's a reboot. Like, okay, let's get back into it. I take a little pause and get back into things. You can do that too. You don't have to shave your head though. If your hair is good and coming through, don't shave it. Let it grow. For those of us that can't, you're doing it for us. Just playing, getting a little silly on this Monday, but important for me that you take care of you. Okay. Don't outsource that. Don't delegate that. I tell people to delegate things all the time. Don't delegate your self care. You have to be in control of that. Not your doctor, not your lovers, friends, colleagues, bosses. You. So take care of yourself. Prioritize you. And when you do that, life is going to be better for you. So have a great week. See you next time.